This video is about kombucha. Many of my friends are new to kombucha. They don't understand it. What is this new craze? What's going on? And I've been drinking it for a while, and I love kombucha, so I make it at home, and I've been making it at home for years. So I thought I'd make a little intro video for people who are wondering, what is this kombucha stuff all about, and how can I make it at home? So kombucha is a beverage that has yeast and bacteria in it, and those are the properties that make kombucha. I make just a plain version. When you go to the store, there's lots of flavors and things that have been added to it to make it more palatable, but I just do a plain version. So here's what it takes. First of all, you need to start with a SCOBY. And this, my friends, is a SCOBY. It's been hacked a little bit, but this white part is usually on the top, and it's growing from other layers behind it. And this thing is alive. It's made from the bacteria and the yeast, so it's like a science project that you're going to have in your house. And it's wet and slimy and kind of gross. So the SCOBYs, first of all, you have to get a SCOBY. And where do you get a SCOBY? Friend who does kombucha at home, because they grow. They just grow and grow and grow and multiply. And sometimes you just have so many SCOBYs you get overwhelmed. You can throw them out. Some people, you can look on the internet, they make a treat like a fruit roll or something, but they're great for your compost. And don't worry if you have too many, you can just toss them out. But if you want a SCOBY, you can even order them online. So you start with a SCOBY, and then you make a tea mixture, and I'll tell you that in a minute, and then now you're started, you're good to go. So what are the other products that you may need, and how does it work when you do it at home? So a stainless steel pot, and get one big enough, because to make 2 or 3 jars is no fun. You want to make a pretty good quantity. So stainless steel jar, a plastic sieve. It needs to be plastic, it can't be metal, because metal disturbs the property of the tea that turns into this fermented product that turns into your finished product of kombucha. So no metal can touch the liquid until you're completely done. Plastic tongs. This was a thing, but it broke. But plastic tongs or wood. You could use wood too. No metal. This here, and you use. People use green tea, but I found that green tea is not as strong or robust as the black tea or English breakfast tea. I don't like caffeine. It makes me nervous, and I have enough energy as it is. So I found this online, and it is a decaffeinated English breakfast. And you want to get a decent quality of tea. The thing that I like about this is it doesn't even have the metal staple in it. So when you have a metal staple, it can affect the tea. So this one doesn't. It's organic. You want it clean. You want this beautiful stuff in your body. So get the best tea that you can get, and it'll serve you well. The other thing that we use is organic. This is cane sugar, raw sugar, any of that kind of non-refined sugar is what you want. These are coffee filters, and you need them for the tops of the jars. Then you'll need something to put in your refrigerator. So what I had before was a sun tea thing, which is a big round jar with a spigot in it. But I found it took a lot of space in my refrigerator. So I got this one instead. You see how it's narrow? And I'm not a plastic fan, but this is PBA free. So I'm like, okay, whatever. It makes me very happy because it just stays in there, no fuss, no muss. I have to keep the lid unscrewed because it has a vacuuming effect. But it's very narrow and super easy to use. So, how does the process go? Once you have your SCOBY and you're kind of up and running, then this would be the system. I put good water in here, not tap water, but nice filtered water. The formula, I'll give you an idea of the formula. It would be, for a half a gallon finished product, you would use 4 tea bags, a half a cup of the sugar, 6.5 cups of water, and then you put it in something that's already begun. So that's kind of the formula. You can get this on the internet. Put my water in, bring it to boil, shut the stove off, put the tea bags in, and put the sugar in. Then that sits and does nothing until it gets room temperature, because you can't put a heat into this thing because it's a science project. It's very delicate, so you have to respect it, and then it will perform for you. So this sometimes is overnight or all day, so big deal, whatever. If you don't want it so dark or so strong, like if you have sensitivity to caffeine and you buy regular caffeine, you can take the tea bags out after, 15-20 minutes. It just needs to kind of get in there. Boil that, let it cool. Then here are the jars. So this is a great example here. So here's the new SCOBY because they form, and then here's some old SCOBYs, and there's this juice that is very fermented, and this is very rich. The more that you can keep in the jar between servings, the sooner this will ferment. So the fermenting process is 10 to 14 days, needs to be in a closed cupboard. This is like this so it can breathe, but yet it stays clean. Even though this is a metal product, it doesn't interfere with the juice. So you're good there. So you might as well get a case of these jars, because when you do this, you kind of want to do it one time. Then even after the 10 to 14 days, you fill up your container, and then you drink it over time, and you can continue using that for, depending on how much you drink or how many people in your family. I just use this cup once a day, first thing in the morning, and I'm good to go. The reason why I like kombucha is because it cleared up my rosacea, it made my digestive system feel really great, and it cut my sugar cravings completely out. As long as I'm doing my kombucha, I don't have sugar cravings. So I eat dark chocolate and I'm happy, which is really nice because sugar cravings suck. It's just so hard because you're just always fiending for something, but it's really the candida that's in our American diet. So this jumps ahead of the candida because it's keeping the flora in our guts so strong, and it chases away any kind of thing. And a good colon, a healthy colon, is a healthy body. So when we keep our colons nice, this is like a self-care colon therapy on a regular basis. All right, so make the tea, put all these jars in the sink because it can get, messy. You're trying to gently pour it in because you don't want to disturb this. You don't want to shake this. You don't want to disturb this at all. So you gently pour it in, top it off to shoulder height on these things because you need a little space in there because these things grow. You want some breathing, and then it'll just be really nice. So this will sink to the bottom, and when it's done, another sign of, oh, might be done, is these things start floating to the top. But that's not the only way to test it. The real test is to pour a little out, carefully of course, because it could get messy, and taste it. If you taste any sugar, it's not okay. So you just put it back in. If it's sweet at all, it's not kombucha. If it's like, ooh, like that, then you're ready. So you top them all off, put them in the cupboard, and then when they're ready, you use this again and put this over your container. And the gooey, slimy, yucky stuff will come out eventually. And you don't want that in your drink because it's gross. You may have to spin this as you're pouring, because the slimy stuff will block it and then it'll splash back. So that's all of that stuff there. So that's the basic roll down and roll out of the kombucha and how to make it at home. So this is beginner version. There are many more advanced people who are very specific and may not appreciate the way I'm saying all of this, but it's okay. This is for beginners. Please don't judge me. I'm just trying to help and share and inspire people that it's not that hard and it's really fun to make. Thank you.